have a will, you have a probate situation. So a will doesn't have any authority. It says what you want to happen with the things that belong to the Lord that you're in charge of when you don't need them anymore. A trust is kind of a perpetual entity. It continues on. So if you have a will situation, you're going to have an executor. You're not going to have a trustee kind of situation. If you have a trust, that's where you have a trustee situation where that just kind of continues on. Things just transfer ownership. Well, you transfer ownership into the trust lives on, and then the children or the co-trustees step up when the original trustee is no longer here. But if you have a will, you have a probate situation. So a will just says where you want things to go when you're no longer here. Now, what you need to be aware of is, there's some considerations there in deciding, do you need a will or do you need a trust? And there's pros and cons to both sides of it. It depends on how complicated your situation is. If you have a will, you have to know the difference between probate and non-probate assets. So things like your home, your personal property, bank accounts, any kind of account that doesn't have a beneficiary listed are going to pass according to what your will says. Now, you may have other assets that are not even under the jurisdiction of your will, like let's say your 401k or your IRA. Those assets are going to pass according to beneficiary designation regardless of what your will says. So if you're in that kind of situation, you need to make sure that your beneficiaries are listed correctly, and then the executors in your will and the beneficiaries of your will are listed correctly, and just know how those are going to be split up. But I don't see any problem with having the children listed as executors. Well, there's some additional tax considerations that you might want to check out before you decide to make the trust the beneficiary of your IRA and 401k plans, because a spouse that inherits those assets can continue on some of the tax benefits. Not to say that you never want to take money out of there, because here at the show that we've been a proponent of reducing those balance and qualified accounts. But a spouse enjoys some benefits, some tax benefits, rather than having the beneficiary of those accounts become the trust. So you want to dig into that a little bit.